Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, pilot Jack Rulin in Skycam 16, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 16.
It's good news, but it's not spectacular. That's how the rise in SAT scores is being described tonight. The Scholastic Aptitude Test was taken by about 1 million college-bound seniors for the 83-84 year, and the average scores are finally up, the best increase in at least 20 years. Average math SATs were up 3 points to 471. Verbal scores rose just 1 point to 426. What does it mean? Well, those scores are a far cry from the 1963 averages, when math was at 502 and verbal at 478. That's why Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini says some teachers at 2 Stroudsburg area schools are pleased, but they're not jumping for joy.
But 5th root of 32, you should see that as a 2 kind of quickly.
Some of the students in this freshman algebra class at East Stroudsburg University are well prepared for college-level work. Some are not. Karen Bull's New Jersey high school only required 2 years of math.
Algebra 1 in freshman year and geometry in sophomore year. And that's all we had to take. And Algebra 1 just covered the real basics of what we just touched at the beginning of this course. And right now I'm lost.
What should not be lost is that the SAT scores are based on an 800 maximum. So the increase of a few points in the national average is nice, but means little to ESU's math department head.
The trend has been down for so long that even if there's a few point increase in the score this year as opposed to last year, the preparation that we see in our incoming students wouldn't have time to change much.
The product of the college classroom is formed in this kind of classroom. At Stroudsburg High School, the math department chairman sees a greater awareness of how important SAT test scores are.
Students are becoming, and parents are becoming test-wise and realize that the test is very coachable, and I think that may have something to do with it. I also think the back to basics movement probably has had some effect.
Both on a high school and college level, educators agree it's all a step in the right direction. But they also agree for this year's higher SAT average to mean much, it must be followed by future years of improvement. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Stroudsburg.
There are sad stories to tell about the death and destruction caused by burning cigarettes. Tonight, Action 16's Gerry Gartenberg brings us one of those and has news about a fire-safe cigarette.
Most cigarettes burn for 30 to 45 minutes when dropped, say, in a mattress or a cushion. More than enough time, say fire officials here in Wilkes-Barre, for cigarettes to destroy furniture and lives.
Oh, that's what started the fire, the smoking.
For Betty Brinkley of Upland, the scars from a 1977 cigarette fire run deeper than those you can see. She says they'll always remind her of that night 7 years ago when her husband apparently fell asleep while smoking.
The fireman said that the cigarette smothered in the couch in a matter of 15 minutes, and the whole house burst out in flames.
Betty woke up in a hospital bed the next day. Her sister was by her side.
She said that that my Joanne, Lizzie, and Tommy were dead due to the house fire.
The fire also killed Betty's husband, leaving her with only a book of memories. But this is not the story of one tragic cigarette fire. Government figures show cigarettes are the leading cause of house fire deaths in the country. Safety experts we spoke with say deaths could be prevented if tobacco manufacturers made fire-safe cigarettes. Cigarettes that stop burning minutes after they're left unattended. Why don't we have these safe cigarettes? The tobacco manufacturers tell Action 16 they don't know how to make them. But independent tests done for the state of California found 2 cigarettes on the market, Moore and Sherman's, that go out before they ever have a chance to ignite fabric. Tobacco manufacturers dispute those tests and say a safe burning cigarette could be more dangerous to smoke. It might add more tar or introduce chemicals. But critics counter that manufacturers already add chemicals to make tobacco burn faster. While the debate goes on, Pennsylvania Senator John Hines is sponsoring a bill that would require more tests on how to make a fire-safe cigarette. The bill is expected to come up for a vote in the next few weeks. Senator Hines says if all cigarettes on the market were fire-safe, that would save thousands of lives each year from going up in smoke. Gerry Gartenberg, Action 16.
Well, let's just hope that they can come up with something like that and do it fast.
Yes, that's for sure.
Well, our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark, is up next with the weekend forecast.
And I hope this week's weather goes into the weekend, Tom.
Well,
could we hope for that?
Well, this is going to end up being the best week of weather in 1984. No doubt about it.
Wow.
Yeah. But stay tuned and find out if it's going to last into next week.
The next big event on NEP, live college football. The Bloomsburg Huskies take on the East Stroudsburg Warriors. Football action begins at 12:30, live and exclusive right here on WNEP. Then sharpen your shooting skills on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. We'll join the Lackawanna County Sheriff's team in practical pistol competition. It's live college football at 12:30 and Pennsylvania Outdoor Life at 7. It's all Saturday right here only on WNEP TV 16.
You may not know it, but the first city in the United States to have home box office on cable was right here in our area. HBO began in Wilkes-Barre back in November of 1972, and today the city was presented with a plaque honoring Wilkes-Barre as the birthplace of the movie service on cable TV. Since 1972, HBO has grown to serve millions of viewers across the country. And anybody know the name of the movie that was the first movie shown on HBO?
Beats me.
Yeah. Wasn't that starring Paul Newman?
Yes.
I don't know. What was the name of the movie?
Sometimes a Great Notion.
Oh, yeah, and Lee Remick and Henry Fonda, right?
Yeah, come on, you guys
sure.
cheated. You saw.
Somebody told us, right, Tom?
Didn't know that one.
Did somebody tell us about the weather next?
Well, did you know why these crab apples behind me are red on the top and green on the bottom?
It's your turn.
Why?
You know why?
They're ripe. I don't know.
Sunlight. Sun comes from the sky, you know, not from the ground up. So we got two-tone crab apples here in the backyard. I got a call from some nice people in Wyoming County this afternoon. They said their backyard thermometer hit 90 in the sun. Said it was hot as a biscuit outside in his backyard. In my backyard now, there is once again not a cloud in the sky, and it's kind of warm and toasty at 78 degrees. The humidity 53%, and the wind is kind of frisky from the southwest at 9, gusting to 17, and the barometer is falling now. It took a big drop today at 29.71. Now, range in temperature 80, a whopping 8 degrees above normal. 55 last night, and it was a heat wave in progress on this date just 1 year ago. And there's the United Methodist Church in Analamink, a town just north of Stroudsburg in Monroe County. Beautiful down there as well. Here's the latest Newswatch 16 color satellite picture. There is a weak front dropping down over the state now. You know, it rained in parts of Pennsylvania this afternoon. There were some scattered showers over the northwestern counties, but this line is coming through tonight, and the wind will veer from the southwest to northwest by midnight. 3 to 5 inches of rain in parts of southern Florida the past couple of days because of very heavy thunderstorms. And look out there, a major storm coming in from the northwest, and gee, would that come right into Pennsylvania and dump heavy rain on us by Monday? No. You see, that storm is going to race up into Canada, and out ahead of it, another surge of very warm air is going to work into Pennsylvania early next week. We will go back into the 80s after a slight drop in temperature here tomorrow. Now, here's my forecast. Coming up for tonight, the barometer will be rising overnight tonight as that front moves on through. Clifford, 50, Nanacoke, 52, Creskyville, 53, the low tonight. Pottsgrove in Northumberland County, Trout Run near 50. Now for tomorrow, simply super fantastic. A beautiful day. Susquehanna, 70, Harding, Penargil, Shamokin, Espy, and Lock Haven, low 70s with a northerly wind. Now, I do expect a sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:49, and the sun will be setting tomorrow night, a beautiful sunset at 7:05. Here it is, clear tonight, 52 degrees, sunshine tomorrow at 72, beautiful on Saturday. The Bloomsburg Fair gets underway, 76 degrees, back up 84 on Monday. Karen and Nolan, do you know the earliest date on record when snow fell here in Avoca?
I don't think we want to know, but go ahead.
It was on this date, back in 1956.
An accumulation?
A trace.
Trace. All right.
Okay. Ew, that's depressing.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, after all that nice, bright, and sunny forecast, you had to say that, right? Thank you, Tom. Joe Zone is next. He'll have the pennant races on the downswing with all those highlights.
Plus, this week's Sports Star. There's more of Newswatch 16 as we continue.
I'm Mike Stevens on the Pennsylvania Road for Newswatch 16, and I meet a lot of interesting people. A maker of some interesting gadgets, a very special group of bell ringers, a builder of some very fine furniture, competitors in a rather unusual contest. Those are just some of the folks I've met so far. I hope you'll join me for a visit with some others on the Pennsylvania Road on Newswatch 16.
Joseph, how is the playoff picture shaping up?
Do me a favor. What does the first line of my script say?
Uh-oh.
The Chicago Cubs ended their three-game losing streak. Spelled wrong.
Ended their three-game losing streak. It's the old sportscasting 2 that you take. Never write script before game is over. It was 6-2 when I wrote that. Cubs did in it. They lost today, and so they still don't pick up any ground as they try to clinch that pennant. Let's show you what happened in that game. Jim Morrison got off for the Pirates 1-0 right here. Pirates up on top with a home run, 1-zip, and then Marvell Wynn follows. Look at this shot. That's going to drive a run in 2-0. Pirates have the lead early in the game. Now the Cubs just trying to reduce the magic number in the 5th. Moreland's single puts the Cubs up 4-2. And then Ron Say follows with a double, and it's 5-2, and that looks pretty good to me. And after Jody Davis follows with a single, the score is 6-2 Cubs. So I say, why not? Ends three-game losing streak, but I didn't see the 7th coming. Morrison with a single makes it 6-5. Ray with a sacrifice fly. 7-6, the final score. The Cubs still with a magic number of 3. And it's still a 3-team race in the American League West. Kansas City, Minnesota, California. They played this afternoon in Minnesota. The Twins looking to end a 3-game losing streak of their own, and they did. Herbeck with a single right here, 1-0. And then Puckett with a single. And the Twins are leading 2-1 at this point. But the White Sox came back. Ron Kittle, his 31st home run. That ties the score at 3-3. Carlton Fisk with a pinch hit home run for the White Sox in the 8th. Right here, that makes it 4-4. But they go to extra innings, couple of wild pitches, and the Twins score on a wild pitch. They win at 5-4, tie California for 2nd. They're a game and a half behind Kansas City. Well, this week's Sports Stars doing some things with the soccer ball people around here have never seen before. And I'll tell you one thing for sure, he's the most dominant goal scorer in the area. How explosive is Eyer? In 3.5 seasons at Millville, he has scored over 70 goals. That's a record. Last week alone in 3 games, he scored 17. Millville's record during Eyer's career, they average 20-3. This year, Millville is already 6-0, their best ever start. Coach Gary Wilcox says this might be Rheme's best start, too.
He's been a 4-year starter for us, but he's developed every year. And this year, he's putting it all together, and he's just doing a great job. He's a terrific physical specimen. He's got speed and leg strength and aggressiveness and desire.
I'd like to score 100 goals in my career, but I won't be pushing. Just if I get it, I'll get it.
As for continuing on past the high school level in soccer, Rheme admits he needs to be taught a lot more to reach his ultimate goal.
If I had the proper training and stuff, I could get better. That way I could get to the pros better, better chance.
Rheme's been dominating the local soccer circuit all year long. 17 goals in 3 games last week, and he's dominating the voting in this week's Sports Star of the Week competition. Sports Star runners-up: Mike Diminick, Mount Carmel; Don Charney, Valley West; Mike Weaver, Mifflinburg; Mark Selleck, Western Wayne; and Ed Latos of Lackawanna Trail. Our Sports Star committee made up of media people from throughout the area, like Jim Doyle of WHLM. If you're worried about Muhammad Ali, he's on medication. Doctors say he's going to be okay. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot. See you at 11 o'clock.
So it wasn't Parkinson's disease?
It's Parkinson's syndrome, which is not as severe, they say.
Ah, that's good. Okay, thanks, Joe.
Newswatch 16's Craig Stevens ran into an unusual story in Lycoming County.
Some gentlemen are digging a 34-mile ditch over a mountain ridge, and we'll show you what's up as Newswatch 16 continues.
Bloomsburg versus Stroudsburg, live Saturday.
Finally tonight, they're digging quite a ditch in Hughesville today. A ditch that Newswatch 16's Craig Stevens says will be helping some people stay warm in the winter.
The sounds of heavy machinery are piercing the otherwise quiet farmland surrounding Hughesville these days. A crew of 100 men are digging a heck of a big ditch, 7 feet deep all the way from Picture Rocks to Chickshinny. This is what they plan to put in it, a 3-foot wide pipe that will carry natural gas from here over that away for 34 miles. Fellows like Jerry Ramsey of Louisiana are running the big shovels and getting about 4,000 feet further toward their goal every day. He's dug ditches like this all over the world and has noticed something strange about you and me.
Yeah, one thing different about up here, everybody's got a northern accent. That's not common up there down there in Louisiana where I'm from.
It's the third time in as many decades pipeline workers have come through this area. There are already 2 other pipes underground here, and for farmers like LaRue Harding, who watches them go smack dab through the middle of his cornfield, there's not much excitement left.
Sort of used to it.
Why do the guys on the crew here like their jobs?
It's interesting. You see a lot of country, different climates, terrain's different. You know, it's really different.
Well, these fellows certainly enjoy their work, and they do get paid well for it, but as you can see, there is an element of danger involved. That's a mighty steep hill, and one mistake could send him tumbling all the way to the bottom. These guys seem to take it in stride, though, and they figure they'll have the pipeline in place in a few weeks. Craig Stevens, Newswatch 16, just outside Hughesville.
And from all of us with our northern accents, that's Newswatch 16 for this Thursday.
We'll be back at 11. Enjoy your evening.